men's 5,000 metre final. Let's have a look at the starters. Chad Roberts, Sisay Bezabeth, Chris Isbister, Martin Keino, Darren Lynch, Nigel Adkin, Mark Thompson.
Just stand back off the line, please.
Schmidlechner, Shaun Creighton, Scott Westcott, Dean Cavuoto, Luke Kipkosgei, Martin Fedmowski as they're on their way.
It's a big field, this one.
It is a big field.
You can see they stagger the start. What they do is put half the field way out wide and then the other half in early, and they'll run about 100 to 120 metres and then come in onto the inside lane so that they all run 5,000 metres, 12.5 laps. Of course, many of the longer distance runners, the 10,000 metre runners, and even some of the marathon runners will move down to run this distance. It's interesting to see, Terry, that some of them consider this to be their speed work. And I'm thinking 12.5 laps to an ex-power athlete doesn't seem like too much speed work, but believe it or not, the likes of Monaghetti, Di Castella, Pat Carroll often run the 5,000 metres just for that reason.
We have some quality Kenyan athletes engaged here, including Luke Kipkosgei. He's the first of the Kenyans. He's in second spot at the moment. Kipkosgei holds 3 all-comer records here in Australia. He holds the all-comers record for 3Ks, which he set in Sydney in February of '99 at 7:39.22. The 5K, which he ran that same month, but in Melbourne, 13:11.11. And the 10K in Melbourne, which he set in December of '98 at 27:22.54. So he is a quality athlete, number 120. Luke Kipkosgei will see more action from the men's 5K right after some pole vault action with David Cole.
To move her heights up to what will definitely be needed to start winning medals at the Olympic Games.
So a great battle in the women's pole vault, as we expected, between Brigila and George. Men's 5K, Luke Kipkosgei, number 120. With him, number 115 is Martin Keino. So 2 of the Kenyans very prominent early.
10 laps to go. 5,000 metres here. You can see the stands are very crowded in the background. It's been a lovely evening here for distance running as well, and these guys should be taking advantage of it.
The meet record, Jane, is 13:48.68, which is to the credit of Paul Patrick, a Victorian runner back in 1994. With the likes of Kipkosgei engaged here, who holds the all-comers record here in Australia at 13:11. You'd imagine that meet record will well and truly disappear?
I'd be very, very surprised if it doesn't. Not too many of the Australians, I don't think, would be mixing it with these guys, although Sisay Bezabeth, number 19, will probably be one of them. You can see him there just tucked behind 119, who is Joseph Kimonai. And big field there, Michael Powell. In the glasses there was Shaun Creighton. Of course, they originally started out as a 3,000 metre steeplechaser, has run 5,000, 10,000 and some pretty good marathons as well. He's tucked there in about 4th or 5th position with the glasses on. On his inside is Michael Power. In fact, he's lived in America for the last couple of years and come back to run this season. Sister of Susie Power, who was a very, very good junior athlete here and started coming back and running exceptionally well over 5,000 metres last year too.
So the men's 5K well and truly underway, as is the women's pole vault. Magnificent action there from the women's pole vault as we get back to the men's 5K here at the State Athletics Centre in Brisbane. And the Kenyans starting to dominate the event now. They're working together. In fact, the Kenyans, they hold 3 of the first 4 positions. The odd man out there looks to be John Henwood.
He's a Kiwi. He's run 13:30. So really, I guess to mix it at the top end of this event now, you have to be running even under 13 minutes. And David Moorcroft running 13 minutes to break the world record about 10 years ago. Shaun Creighton with the glasses. Bezabeth, the Institute of Sport athlete there, number 19. Michael Power, 188. So at least the Australians are trying to stick up on the Kenyans. They will start to throw a few fast laps in, I would imagine, in a couple of laps' time to try and sort the field out. They have spread them. There's a pack of about 20 at the front, and there is a field of about 28, so they've dropped a few of them off the pack already.
So 7 laps to go, 6.5 laps now as they head down the back. They went through in 6 minutes. And the leader here is Joseph Kamani. He leads the way from the race favourite Luke Kosgei second. Outside of him is the Kiwi, and that is John Henwood. Then tucked away fourth on the inside is Martin Keino. Behind him we have Sisay Bezabeth and Shaun Creighton, number 40, also in that group. Shaun Creighton holds 3 Australian records. Jane holds the record for the 3K, which he set in Oslo in July of 95 at 7:41.60. Also holds the record for the 10K, which he set in Melbourne in November of 96 at 27:31.92. And of course he was a former steeplechaser and set the 3K steeplechase record back in July of 93 at 8:16.22. So he's been a great runner, Crichton.
He has, and in fact a couple of those records were Ron Clark's records, and you know, Clark is one of the Australian all-time track and field legends. In fact, one of the world legends in athletics. Absolutely a household name in Oslo, where he set a number of those records, and Crichton should feel very honoured to have broken a couple of somebody of that caliber's Australian records too.
Well, the action at the women's pole vault is quite breathtaking. This battle between Dragila and George. We'll be heading back there very soon. But the men's 5K with the Kenyans now running first, second and third as they come into the home straight. And leading the way, number 119 is Joseph Kamani from Luke Kosgei second, then Martin Keino in fourth spot, number 212, I think it might be. It might be 214, in fact, Mark Thompson. So he's running a good race, Mark Thompson. And then Shaun Creighton. And Bezabeth has now dropped back to about 8th or 9th, as has John Henwood.
So I think this is where the Kenyans have put their foot down to the pedal. They've dropped another sort of half a dozen runners off that pack. There are now only 10 of them left in that leading pack. And of course 3 of them are the Kenyans, and then come the Australians following, as unfortunately has been the case over the last few years when we do get a lot of the Kenyans come to Australia to train.
So now Kip Kosgei taking up the running, so they're going to start working one another now. Kip Kosgei taking up the running from Kamani, who's done much of the bullocking and now making his move as well, Keino. So they're going to start sharing the lead here. Mark Thompson running a very good race here in 4th spot. Then Shaun Creighton, and on his inside might even be the Brit Tom Richardson, who's well up there.
No, I think it's Michael Power actually on his inside. So, and you can see number 140 coming in there in 5th.
So 4 laps to go, 9:15.15 the split, and it's Kip Kosgei leading, Keino second. Gee, Thompson's running a big race here in 3rd spot.
You have to keep up there. Now there's 3.5 laps to go.
Kamani starting to drop back now, one of the Kenyans. He's back to 5th, as running past him is Michael Power. Shaun Creighton has dropped back to the inside now. He's been doing a fair bit of work away from the inside. And John Henwood in about 8th spot. Now Kip Kosgei now urging Martin Keino to take up the role. Kip Kosgei saying, come on, give me a breather.
Almost like a training run for these guys. You would expect the Kenyans to start putting their foot down again shortly, try and drop another couple off the pack. Looks like there is only the 4 of them up there now. They've made a little bit of a break from Shaun Creighton, although he is trying to work to get back on that pack. Terribly difficult once you drop off. They pick that pace up again. Coming through with 3 laps to go. They've gone through in about 10:20, 10:19.
Yeah, 10:19.92 the split here, Jane. And it's Kip Kosgei still leading the way from Keino second. Really have liked the grit being shown here by Mark Thompson.
And hopefully the 2 Australian boys can stick there, because, mark my words, the Kenyans will start to open up.
So Thompson and Power, the 2 Victorian runners, both running mighty races here. They're in elite company with Kip Kosgei and Keino.
Thompson 5th at the World Junior Championships, 4th at the Victorian Championships, where Michael Power beat him. Michael Power was only 2nd. Power has a personal best of 13:33 and Thompson at 13:41. So they're half a minute or so off the personal bests of these Kenyans, but if they can hang in there, hopefully they'll be able to pick that up and at least run personal bests and head towards the A qualifying for the 5,000 metres.
So to the judge they go. Let's have a look at the split here. It's 11:24.56 with 2 laps to travel. And have a look at Michael Power here saying to Luke Kipkosgei, come on, let's pick up the pace here.
Well, good on you, Michael. It's worth doing. He's spent a couple of years in America, and over there, one of the things that you do is you race a lot. So he would have been toughened up, and he's going to put it down and lay it down to these Kenyans, and doing a good job of it at that.
So Michael Power heading down the back, leading by 2 metres to Luke Kipkosgei, who looks like he's having a breather. Martin Keino in 3rd spot. And running the race of his life here, Mark Thompson in 4th spot. In the National Championships last year, Mark Thompson finished 18th. So he is running a big race here as they head into the home straight with 1 lap left to go. Michael Power leading in the men's 5K from the State Athletic Centre here in Brisbane. It's Power in front, Kipkosgei 2nd, Keino 3rd, and Thompson in 4th spot with 1 round to go. The Aussies being spurred on here by the big crowd in Brisbane.
And Power's certainly going to go very close to his personal best. He's got to run 67 seconds for his last 400 metres, which you would think is not going to be too difficult. And should go under 13:30, hopefully for the first time. It's a big barrier for the 5,000 metre runners.
So they're in the back straight.
He's got a couple of metres on them, Terry, but I wouldn't write the Kenyans off yet. Here they come.
Yeah, Kipkosgei's got him whenever he wants him, and Kipkosgei says now's the time. So Luke Kipkosgei taking over from Michael Power, Martin Keino 3rd, and then a fair way back now to Mark Thompson. Up to the bend though, Kipkosgei in front, not to be denied Power. He's trying to lift. Kipkosgei, he holds 3 Australian all-comers records and he's being pushed to the limit here by Michael Power. But Kipkosgei had the answer when Power knocked on the door, and Luke Kipkosgei coming away, class will prevail. He's run 13:26.07. It's an enormous run from Michael Power 2nd.
Wonderful run by Power.
It's an Olympic A qualifier for Michael Power.
He had to run under 13:29, and it looks like he's gone about 13:27. Fantastic run. Could be a brother-sister combination if we can get Susie back on the track. Fantastic to see him back in Australia. Obviously, some of that experience of those American races has come through tonight as well.
Well, Jane, full marks to Michael Power because he took it up to Kipkosgei and Keino with 2 laps to go. He could have sat behind them and simply tried to kick when they kicked, but instead he made the move with 2 laps to go. He took the lead, and he wasn't going to be denied even when Kipkosgei went past him down the back with about 2:50 to go, as we see the point in the race with 2 laps to travel where Michael Power decided to really bite the bullet and make his bid for an Olympic A qualifier.
And when you think about it, Terry, the fact that he did that move with a couple of laps to go really would have made up that 2 seconds that he got that A qualifier by. So it goes to show when you do give it a go, and it takes courage to do that against some Kenyans, and especially some Kenyans that have run over 30 seconds faster than you, then you sometimes get your just rewards.
Even here when Kipkosgei takes him in the back straight with a bit over 200 to travel, you would have sensed, well,
could have dropped his bundle.
Exactly, will tear away from him here, but to his credit, he stuck with Kipkosgei until probably about the 100-metre mark. But then this great Kenyan really kicked. Man who holds 3 all-comer records here in Australia. And he extended his lead to about 20 metres on the line. But a brave run by Michael Power 2nd.
He's run 12:57, Kipkosgei, so for all intents and purposes should have beaten Michael Power, but it's a wonderful run by Power. An A qualifier under his belt as well, and he'll be looking forward to going on to the next couple of Grand Prix, I'm sure, and improving on that.
Martin Keino.